What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, there's a couple of things I wanted to share with you that were put out on Discord officially by the team. The first of which, actually the main part of which, is this little graphic here that nicely displays how the rewards are distributed, the percent chances that you can get, each type of thing, and then the multiplier on those within each league. Now, nothing has changed much in terms of like the SPS, merits, packs, and potions, but the new Soulbound reward cards do have different, I guess, at each level will have a different chance of dropping in terms of rarity, and then also the multiplier on them will change significantly as well. So before we actually dive into this, I want to go over to the official announcement channel. So this was something shared by Byzantinist just yesterday morning, right before the maintenance. So there's a couple things that are already don't matter, but there is one main thing here. Number 4, when you look at this, it says, as of now, the Soulbound cards are not limited by print run. I think this is the only confirmation that we have that there's no actual print rate for these new cards. It is going to be a time limitation until Yabamat decides to introduce a new mini set of Soulbound reward cards. So this is subject to change. Now, I don't know how I feel about this yet, just being completely honest with you guys. The thing with this is we like the idea of stuff being, how do we put it? We like the idea of cards being scarce, right? Or rare, or like there being a cap on how many there will be. Now, the way that this is being viewed, it sounds like because it's Soulbound, it doesn't really matter. And the only time it is going to matter is if once they are out of print and therefore unlockable, the total volume that we have, this whole amount of BCX that are printed, that's when things will actually, change. Now, that's what I don't like about it, right? Because it's not clearly defined from the get-go. So there's nothing that we can kind of weigh our hopes and dreams and our expectations on, right? In terms of like, well, there's only going to be this many ever, right? Unless something changes. Right now, it's just a big question mark. But on the flip side, what I do like about this, and what I think the team is trying to flex a little bit more, which I do appreciate, is flexibility, right? They want to be able to adjust things. And at the end of the day, the amount of cards or the print rate in cards has nothing to do with the DAO, right? So we don't have jurisdiction over stuff within like cards specifically. The DAO only has jurisdiction over SPS, vouchers, and the licenses, right? The node licenses. When we make decisions about other in-game things, such as land potions, such as burning chaos packs, that is the team trying to bring the community in to help make decisions, but they don't need to do that. They're not obligated to. And based on, the way that SPS and governance is set up, we don't have any jurisdiction to make that decision. So in this way, I can't be upset about them wanting to do it this way, because it's like as an SPS stakeholder, I don't have any jurisdiction over what they decide to do. Now, again, I can see the positives, I can see the negatives, but in this case specifically, with a lot of the uncertainty that we have in the future, I mean, the future is always uncertain, right? But we have Chaos Legion selling out or burning out in the next couple of months. We'll have Rebellion coming out sometime later this year. It seems like the team has a lot of really cool things on the docket. There is a chance or potential that people are talking about with the market recovery that we could have a mini bull run or a very convincing bear market rally, which again, excuse me, depending on how many people explore the game, how much, the marketing does. Again, there's so many unknowns. And in a way, I almost appreciate the fact that right now, because these cards don't have quote unquote value, we can just go out and earn them just by playing the game. And so right now, it doesn't really matter what their value will be in the future, because their only value to you right now is how good they are in the game and how much they help you in the game to earn more value, aka SPS, packs, merits, whatever the case is, right? So in that way, I'm actually totally okay with this. I'm glad that they kind of set it out from the beginning. Although, what I don't want, or at least what I would hope to avoid in the future, is something similar to what happened with the end of the print run for a lot of these current cards. Now, sure, is it great, that we stop the bleeding? Yes, absolutely. We don't want more DEC inflation. We don't want more cards that are just going to be dumped on the market by bot farms. But in the future, I would hope that there will be at least a couple months notice, or at some point like a decision made where it's just like, okay, maybe once Rebellion comes out, or maybe a couple months after Rebellion is out, they will decide that there will be a new set of rewards cards and that these will be coming to an end. And we'll find that out a couple of months beforehand, right? Or maybe when Rebellion comes out. So the key thing here that I want everyone to remember is that they said it will only, or they expect these cards to be in print for 1 to 2 years. Now, a lot of people immediately went to the top side of that and said, oh, 2 years, that's a long time. Rebellion's going to be coming out later this year, or potentially within 6-7 months, right? Like when are the Rebellion reward cards going to come in? But that's my point. We should also be looking at the bottom half, or the bottom limit of that, which is 1 year, which means that let's say Rebellion comes out sometime in Q3. Again, I'm not expecting July anymore, so I'm expecting August or September. Again, if things get delayed even further, or we just have an awesome summer and there's no need for the cards just yet, or maybe a terrible summer where there's no need for the cards just yet, however you want to look at it, we may not get it, until well into the second half of the year, which means that we could get the new reward cards in exactly 1 year from now, right? Sometime in January or early February next year, which means that we'd basically think about it this way, like in terms of new cards coming out, we would get, we have Chaos Legion running out. We'll have Rift Watchers going out. There might be a mini set later this year, right? A mini like promo edition that the team will want to put out if they get that movie studio thing. But we get Rebellion later on in the year, at some point in the second half of the year. Then what they could do is have in the first half of 2024, or first month or so 2024, so a couple months after we get new Rebellion cards, we get a new set of Soulbound reward cards, right? So again, it's not going to be flooding the market with a ton of cards. Sorry, I just shouldn't even say market, but flooding the meta with a bunch of cards, right? We want that to be timed out. At least I would like for it to be timed out. We're not just getting millions of cards all the time. So I'm actually a little bit more optimistic that this will probably only run for 1 year. And at some point, they're going to want to get on the proper cycles where when Rebellion comes out, we do get Rebellion Soulbound reward cards at the same time. Or maybe what they'll do is use this as the template and say, new set comes out, then you get the new Soulbound reward cards a couple months later, and then you get the mini edition, like a Rift Watchers or a dice set that comes out a couple months after that, right? So that's kind of how I'm, that's kind of how I'm thinking through the next couple of years here, essentially, right? Between now and I guess 2025. Excuse me, guys, still recovering. So number 5 here, since the current reward cards are being stopped early before their initial declared print run, and season rewards from older seasons can be unclaimed for an indefinite amount of time, the print run for the current reward cards might not be finalized for a very long time, right? This is subject to change if they choose to ever impose that season rewards are maybe like automatically claimed if they haven't been claimed by dormant accounts. But let's go over to the other side now. Now this is, and let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. There we go. Now this is the overall, like the drop rate for everything, right? So with common cards, and again, I'm just going to focus on this right box here, card rarity chances. So at the bronze level, right, here are your percent chances, which again, they decrease commons and increase legendaries and rares and I guess legendaries and epics as you get higher chances all the way up to champion. But underneath that, you can see that in bronze, you only get 1 card multiplier across the board, right? So it's not like if you get a chest, it's just 1 card. In silver, though, this is interesting because rares, epics, and legendaries don't get the card multiplier, but commons do. So I think we're going to see a lot more common cards get leveled up. Now, in gold, this goes up significantly, in my opinion. Because not only are rares going up now to a 7 potential multiplier, and again, not every chest is going to be 7. It's anywhere between 1 and 7, right? But now you have 5 potential for rares, and then 2 and 2 for epics and legendaries. And then as you get higher, diamond actually surprisingly doesn't seem that much better in my opinion, right? Because epics and legendaries are still only at 2 versus 11 and 9 for commons and rares. And then when you get into the higher levels here, so the highest levels for champion, it's 15 commons, 11 rares, and then 2 and 2. So if you're looking to maximize your gold chances, right, your epics and legendary chances, gold from a multiplier standpoint is not terrible because, as long as you get as long as your going to get a legendary or epic card, you will get a chance to get the same multiplier as higher up. Now, your percent chances increase significantly because you look at gold and you see that epics, there's a 3% chance versus 4% in diamond, so not much for me, but 8% in champion, right? And then with legendary cards, it's 1.2% in gold, 1.6% in diamond, and then 3.2% in champion. Now, keep in mind, this is where I think potions become really, really valuable because you do get to increase the chances for epics and legendaries with just the legendary potions. And then, of course, you get to increase your chances for gold foil if you use the alchemy potions as well. And you can see here all the way on the right side, that is the percent chances of getting a gold foil. So for me, I've only opened diamond chest right now, but since I started the season in gold, I'll probably be working with gold chest for the time being. And I'm actually not terribly upset with that because I think the jump between gold and diamond is not that high, or at least not high enough for me to struggle in diamond for less chests, right? And we'll see how this analysis plays out in the future, but I'm actually okay with like playing at high gold, getting a ton of gold chests, and then just working my way through, with the percent chances that I get, because diamond isn't that much better than gold. But again, that's just my opinion. So I'm curious to know, you guys have had a chance to take a look at this chart. If you look at it now, what are your thoughts? I'll go ahead and leave the video here, but let me know what your thoughts in the comments below are on the print rate or lack thereof of having print rate limit, as well as the drop rates for a lot of these cards. And also, I'm curious, are you using potions? I mean, to me, I think it's a no-brainer to be using potions every single time I open a chest, but I'm curious to know if anybody is not using potions for any specific reason. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.